So hey guys, it's been a while. Not done much of this, been working away, been doing a lot of nights. I have fixed some problems on it. The injectors went while I was driving away and down south about 4 hours, 400 kilometers. Managed to get some injectors, some spark plugs. Thought I'd do them because it was due its major service in 10,000 Ks anyway, so 180,000 Ks. Ended up being a real small thing, you didn't have to do it all, but it's done now anyway. So today I'm going to do all the interior mods that I've wanted to do for a few months and I've had them. But in the meantime, I'm going to do a bit of an oil change. I'm not going to go for it major. I'm going to show you 3 bits that you need and then just cut to it. But there's a really cool thing I found on these BMWs, and it's not all European cars. It's the first car I've come across. Why they're not all like this, I have no idea. It's so much easier. Anyway, I'll show you. First of all, these are bits you need. Now, I live in Australia, so I'm using 540 because of the weather, and also because it's done 170,000 kilometers. I'm using 40 instead of 530. So in Perth here, it's quite warm. If you're in Canada, if you're in England, depending what car you got, what engine. This is the N20 2.328i. This works better for this, and it's decent. I use Penrite on my Golf, and that's done 140,000 kilometers. It's only had a low pressure fuel pump. It's been really good. 10mm hex for the sump. You need a Torx to do it at 8 Newton meters, and then take the oil filter off. Oil filter, easy peasy. Anyway, I'll show you this little trick. So under here, if you notice this flap here, open this flap, sump plug right there. You don't have to take away all this bottom of the tray. Amazing. So before we get started, I'm not going to bore you too much about the oil change because most of you know how to do it, or there's loads of YouTube clips on it. But what you do need is your favourite white t-shirt and some Aussie footwear. Okay guys, a little bit of stuff about what I've got here today. The breakdown I told you about was I was driving down to Albany. It's 4 hours drive away. My car went into a limp mode, started to feel like it was firing on 3 cylinders. This engine management light came up. I didn't know what was going on. I'd already broken down before in an Audi that I had. I thought, please, no. Pulled over. I had my little VPAC OBD, popped it in, clears the code, carried on. Then I checked to say the oil was fine. Oil needed a litre, popped a litre of oil. I thought, maybe that's it. No, went again, just about to overtake a big truck, went back down, limp mode, damn. Read the codes, it was P0303. So P03 is misfire, 03 is misfire in cylinder 3. So I swapped the plugs over, seemed to work okay, and I thought I'll probably get a misfire in cylinder 1 if I put 3 in 1. Didn't happen. However, the plug didn't look great. It was due major service in 10,000 Ks. So where I was, I bought some new ones. This is the plug I took out. These were the other plugs. So 3 were like that, 1 like that. There you go. Managed to get these cheap. These were down from $91 each or something, down to about 60. So I bought 4. And I bought 4 spark plugs. These are spark plugs that came out, if that's focusing, but that is actually fine, really. Now, they were due to be changed anyway. Now, when I emptied number 3, when I pulled these out, because they're torqued up, number 3 was a little bit loose. And I thought, damn, if that's been blowing past here, if that's not been tightened up properly, it'll blow past that, ruin the injector, and that's what it was. It might have just needed that tightening up, which was fine, and just 1 injector. I could have fixed it for 60 bucks. But instead, I think it was 411 bucks, 412 bucks, and it's got 4 new injectors, 4 new plugs, and you know, it needed doing in 10,000 Ks anyway, so in about a year. So, you know what? Oh well, it's done now anyway. Car was fine, and I was quite lucky. Now the interesting bit. So, decided I'm going to go with the new steering wheel, which I'll show you in a moment. That I swapped out with my mate, an Alcantara steering wheel, blue buttons, blue top. Looks amazing. I just love that Alcantara. Never had one before. So I bought these. There's 4 of them. They're from Aliexpress. I'm going with the blue theme. Look, you know, they're kind of fake, Alcantara-ish. They just stick over the other ones, but I reckon they're going to be okay. On the inside, I'm going to have the carbon fibre. Now, you know how these always go sticky on the inside. Here in Australia, really bad because it's so hot. Probably not bad in Canada or top parts of England or anywhere in top of Europe, but anywhere south of the equator, you know, South America or anywhere like Australia, they're going to go sticky. Mine is actually okay. I bought some for a friend whose were off, and I thought, you know, when these go on, I'm going to put these on the inside. and just to see what they look like. So that's something I'm going with. Just some carbon fibre on the inside and that. I've also got this for inside the gear stick. I'm going to wrap the inside bit carbon fibre. And then also for along the dash, I've got the dash as well. So that will go, I didn't sort of do carbon fibre and velvet or Alcantara, carbon fibre, blue, carbon fibre, I don't know. But not many people have got the Alcantara type look. So I want it to be a little bit different. These are so cheap as well from Aliexpress. As you know, I love an Aliexpress bargain. So with those, and I've also got this. This is the carbon fibre wrap. Now this is a decent wrap. This is from 3M, as you can see. And it's a really good wrap. This is what I've wrapped on top of the Golf. It's got a bit of texture on it. That is what I'm going to be wrapping the delicate bits inside for the carbon fibre. So at least I've got a decent carbon fibre wrap. Yes, it's not real carbon fibre. But as you know, I'm running this BMW on a budget. And to make it look, you know, to spend a couple of grand and make it look like I spent 10 grand. And still look to the passerby or to the you know, the modest eye, a really good flipping car that's done up. So yeah, can't wait. The outside's done, now to the inside.
There's not a single day that passes without you on my mind. Not even 1 minute can end up before you come around. I yearn for the days when I see your face here before me. I long for the times you held me in your arms. Whoa. There's not a single day that passes without you on my mind. Not even 1 minute can end up before you come around. I yearn for the days when I see you.
I've been mega excited about getting these in because I've had this stuff for about 6 months. So yeah, there you go, the Alcantara and carbon fibre middle. Now I was going to do that Alcantara, that carbon fibre, then I thought no, do that Alcantara, that carbon fibre, then I'll change it around a few times. I didn't know which way to do. You can get a few different ones. That's come out mad. I love that, and it's got a kind of texture to it as well because this is premium wrap. I know you can get the stick-on ones, the wet carbon, they look horrible, and I can't afford dry carbon, it's way too expensive. You know, if it was a top of the range premium 150 grand M3, I'd probably go a bit more premium on the bits, but it's a 15 grand 328. So, you know, I'm not too fussed. It's all about doing it on a budget. But look at that. It's including the larger wheel, which I actually bought from Aliexpress as well. If you can see that. That's great. So, let's get it in, see if we've done a good job. Woo! This is going to look sweet. You might notice here, look, my Alcantara steering wheel. Swap this out from a mate, which also has like dry carbon there, you see. This is a bit shiny though, problem that one. It's a bit of a shame. Might be able to touch it up a bit. And I put the blue buttons in, and that was red, and I actually changed that to blue. And oh, I love it. Apart from the big massive screen I've got, probably my favourite mod. It's so nice, Alcantara. I think any other sports car I get from here, probably have to have an Alcantara top there. Right, let's go. Let's plug this in, see how much of a good job I've done. This was a nightmare to get off. Hot, 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 hot. Oh man, that looks cool. That looks so good. I need to put that bit there. Close that bit there. Oh, nice. That looks great. Wait till I've got this bit done. Yeah, liking that. That was cool. Okay, let's get this bit stuck on there. And then, oh, it's got a little slip bit so it folds around. Look. And then we can go into that centre bit. And then the interior is more or less going to be black. Black, black, black. Oh, got the door handles too. Forgot about them. What a change. Let's see if we can get this right first time.
There's not a single day that passes without you on my mind. Not even 1 minute can end up before you come around. I yearn for the days when I see your face here before me. I long for the times you held me in your arms. Whoa.
say, I'm proper buzzing with this. This has come out just the way I liked it. The Alcantara there, brushing effect, look at that. And the carbon fibre along here, but it actually looks like real carbon fibre. It doesn't look like the shiny, wet stuff. It looks like more of a dry carbon. So yeah, well happy. This interior is going to be like black on black on black on black. It's cool when you do a car from the outside, you get to see it on the outside, when you're driving it you can't see it, but then when you change the inside it feels like you're driving in a car because you've got a new steering wheel, new dash. It really just changes your driving experience, and now it's going to be pretty premium. Sick. Okay, I know these are a nightmare to get in, so time to get to Struggle Town. This is the one I always have a problem with. I can never get the thing in. It's always a pain in the arse. Let's see if I can. Normally I do it from that side, but I'm filming, so let me just see. I can never get it in the right way. Or do I come over at the top? Oh, there you go. I think I know it. I think it should go underneath, but I think I go over the top because it's always a pain. Let me just try and come underneath first, because I think it should come underneath, but look, the angle is just a nightmare. This has come off a few times because I've done the dash, and I do have another mod I need to do, and this has got to come off again, so I'm probably shouldn't be putting it back on, to be fair, because I've got to take it off again tomorrow. Yeah, look, I can't get that on, so I'm just going to go this side, which does the hazards and the doors, and then this one, I presume, I actually don't even know what this bit is for. Ah, this bit for the heater bit, I should imagine, be these bits. Okay, move that out of the way. That should pop in there. That pops underneath there. And that pops in that little cradle thing there when that's out of the way. Right. Alright, alright. It's hot here. It's Australia. It's the summertime. It's absolutely stinking hot. And I've hurt my shoulder and I'm struggling to push this in. I might have to come around that side and get to it. Yep. Okay. I actually do normally do it from this side anyway. I'm just trying to do it for the camera. It does take a bit of pushing in, this does. And of course I've took this off so many times, one day I'm going to take this off and snap that bit. Wow, that looks sick. That just looked wicked. Oh, there's a little bubble there, I'll push out. That looks cool. That looks well premium. Just got to get that sorted. Nice. Okay, door handles, here we go. Carbon fibre bit. If you ever want these, about 10-20 bucks, it's about £10. When this bit's all sticky and disgusting, mine's actually fine. Actually, I don't need this on really, I can just stick that on, but then it will leave the lip, and these actually contrast quite well together. So that just clips in, look. That is so easy to do that, and that is in, but then it leaves this little lip, so this complements it really well. So if you do get a pack of these, consider getting some of these. You don't have to get Alcantara. I think they do carbon fibre, they do just shiny, but these do feel great. They stick on, double sticky. And now that just feels like a whole arm because that fits the whole lot. To be fair, I might get some sticky stuff on the back of that, so that just fits in, but to stick it on. But yeah, look at that. That is, needs to clean it up. But that looks amazing. I love that. Okay, so that's it from me today. I've got to go and clean the car, clean me, clean the garage. It's an absolute tip. But yeah, so giving the car a service today, put all the carbon fibre on, finally got all the Alcantara on, the new steering wheel, got some things coming on the next video. I've got a new exhaust, but it's not going to be a fancy exhaust, it's going to be a modified one from a stock one, because you know I like saving. And also I have a new dash coming in. The dash is from the BMW X5, but it's someone that's had an upgrade, and you don't get them in these cars. I don't know if you get them in the BMW X5M or whatever, and I need to code it in, and I'll put a fibre optic cable in. So yeah, next week's going to be exhaust. I'm going to do some extra to the exhaust, and I'm also going to add the digital dash in. But also, if you like what you've seen on here, go and see the other videos where I transferred this car from a stock M-Tech. I paid 15 grand for it. I spent $1,500 on it, and I did it in 15 minutes. Well, a 15-minute video. It took me a lot longer. Subscribe, check out that one. You'll see the one next week. These things actually cost me today. This today should have taken me like probably 2 hours, but due to videoing it and stuff and setting up, it took me 4 hours. And then I'll probably take 8 hours editing it. So, you know, these things can take a good 16 to 20 hours to do when it's a 2-hour job. So, not just me, I mean, I'm getting quite good at it now, but any YouTuber you see that does anything on cars like this, and you think it's just a 50-minute video and it's just a 20-minute job, you know, it's probably took them a week to do it. So any YouTubers you see, like all theirs as well, because which I do now, I really do appreciate the hard work they put in. And it's not just the cars, it's the editing as well. It really does take up a lot of your time behind the scenes. I've got a full-time job. This is why I don't have much chance to put much on there, because it takes up so much of your time on the laptop, editing the stuff. But I love it. The learning process is great, working on them is great. The videos are getting better. I'm only using an iPhone 14 Pro Max, and I've got some cheap microphones now that I use, which, you know, they're not DJI fancy stuff. They're 30 bucks from Aliexpress, but they do really well. So yeah, please keep watching. I'll keep making them, and have a great week. Thanks all.
Would you be my lady? Would you be my baby? I'm not. I don't deny. It's all about me, Joe.